I stared at my phone screen, my hands trembling as I refreshed the banking app for the fifth time. The balance didn't change. My wedding fund, all $72,000 of it, was gone. My name is Tabitha, and I'd spent 6 years building that nest egg, dreaming of the perfect wedding with Everett. Every bonus, every overtime shift, every spare dollar went into that account. And now? Nothing. More coffee, sweetie? Mom's voice cracked as she held the pot over my cup during our weekly Sunday brunch. Her hands were shaking worse than mine. What happened to my money, Mom? The pot clinked against the ceramic mug. Coffee splashed onto the pristine tablecloth, creating a growing brown stain. Mom didn't even move to clean it. That's when I knew something was terribly wrong. It's complicated, honey. There was a family emergency. What kind of emergency requires draining my entire wedding fund without even asking me? The kitchen door swung open. Aunt Joanna swept in, designer handbag first. Oh, good, you're both here. Tabitha, dear, we need to discuss something. The money you stole from me? Aunt Joanna's perfectly lined lips tightened. Such an ugly word. We borrowed it, for Lindsay's divorce attorney. The room started spinning. My cousin Lindsay. Of course. Perfect, precious Lindsay, who could do no wrong, who apparently needed my money to divorce Ramon, her husband of barely 2 years. Why? I managed to choke out. Ramon is threatening to expose certain things, Mom whispered. Things that could hurt the whole family. What things? Aunt Joanna waved her hand dismissively. Just some misunderstandings about Lindsay's behavior during the marriage. Nothing that concerns you. But it did concern me. Because suddenly, I remembered last Christmas. Lindsay, drunk on expensive champagne, cornering me on the back patio. Her mascara-streaked confession about the tennis instructor, the fake pregnancy test, the manipulated restraining order, all captured in perfect HD on my phone because I'd learned years ago to record every interaction with my dear cousin. You had no right, I said, standing up so quickly my chair scraped against the floor. That was my money. Family comes first, Aunt Joanna snapped. Lindsay needs the best attorney money can buy. Your little wedding can wait. I stopped myself, took a deep breath. How did you even access my account? Mom wouldn't meet my eyes. I'm still listed as a cosigner from when you opened it in college. We'll pay you back, Aunt Joanna said, not sounding particularly convinced herself. Once everything settles down. I pulled out my phone, opened my photos, and found the video from Christmas. Lindsay's face filled the screen, mascara running down her cheeks as she slurred. I never loved Ramon, but his money? God, I loved that. What are you doing? Mom asked. I locked my phone, tucked it safely away. Nothing, just checking something. Tabitha, Aunt Joanna's voice turned sharp. Whatever you're thinking, don't. This family has a reputation to maintain. I smiled, the kind of smile that would have warned them if they'd ever bothered to really know me. Don't worry, Aunt Joanna. I understand perfectly now. Good girl, she said, already turning away. We knew you'd be reasonable. I gathered my purse and headed for the door. Behind me, Mom called out weakly, Sweetie, please. You'll understand later. But I already understood. 6 years of savings, gone in an instant. My dream wedding, sacrificed for Lindsay's lies. They thought I'd stay quiet, like always. Play the good daughter, the dutiful niece. They forgot one thing, though. I record everything. Walking to my car, I pulled out my phone again and opened my messages. Hey, Max, I typed to my coworker. Remember when you said you knew someone who could recover deleted financial records? I need their number. Then I called Everett, my wonderful, patient fiancé who thought we were getting married next spring. Hey, love, I said when he answered. We need to talk. Something's happened. Are you okay? His concern was immediate. No, I replied honestly. But I will be. They took our wedding fund for Lindsay's divorce lawyer. His sharp intake of breath was followed by several creative curses. All of it? Every penny. I started my car, put it in drive. But don't worry, I'm not letting them get away with this. What are you going to do? I thought about the video burning a hole in my phone. About 6 years of watching Lindsay get away with everything while I played by the rules. About the look on Aunt Joanna's face when she dismissed my wedding as little. The truth, I said simply. I'm going to tell the truth. And then I'm going to watch it burn their perfect little world to the ground. They planned this for weeks, Max said, scrolling through the bank records on his computer screen. Look at these transfers. They moved the money in small amounts first, testing to see if you'd notice. I leaned closer, my coffee going cold beside me. The financial records painted a clear picture. Systematic drainage of my account through multiple transactions, all authorized by my mother's co-signature. Can we prove it was premeditated? I asked. These email threads I recovered are pretty damning. Max clicked through several messages. Your aunt was coordinating with the divorce attorney before they even touched your money. They knew exactly how much they needed. My phone buzzed, another message from Mom begging me to come to dinner. I'd been ignoring her calls for 3 days. You should go, Max suggested. Gather more intel. He was right. That evening, I pulled up to my parents' house, straightened my spine, and walked in like I wasn't plotting their downfall. Tabitha! Mom rushed forward for a hug I didn't return. We've been so worried. Have you? I stepped past her into the dining room, where Aunt Joanna and Lindsay sat like queens holding court. Worried about me, or worried about what I might do? Lindsay dabbed at invisible tears with a monogrammed handkerchief. Cousin, please understand. Ramon is trying to destroy me. He's saying horrible things. Are they true? I interrupted. The silence was deafening. That's not the point, Aunt Joanna snapped. Family protects family. Your money is serving a greater purpose. I pulled out my phone, placed it on the table. Like protecting Lindsay from the consequences of sleeping with her tennis instructor. The color drained from Lindsay's face. What are you talking about? Christmas party, back patio. Ring any bells? You were drunk, Mom interjected quickly. Whatever you think you remember. I don't have to remember. I have it recorded. Aunt Joanna's hand slammed down on the table. You recorded your own cousin? How dare you? How dare I? I laughed. The sound harsh even to my own ears. You stole my wedding fund to protect her from her own actions, and I'm the one who dared too much. It's not stealing when it's family, Lindsay whimpered. Family? I stood up, my chair scraping back. Was it family when you told everyone I was jealous of your wedding? When you convinced Mom I was too focused on my career to appreciate tradition? When you borrowed my car last year and got it impounded, then made me pay the fees? Tabitha, Mom reached for my hand. You've always been different, more practical than emotional. We thought you'd understand. That I'd always come second to Lindsay? Oh, I understand perfectly now. My phone buzzed again. A text from Max. Found something big. Photos from Tulum. You need to see these. Where are you going? Aunt Joanna demanded as I grabbed my phone and headed for the door. To see what else my practical nature can dig up. Back at the office, Max was waiting with a folder of printed photos. These were buried in a cloud backup. Your cousin's secret vacation last summer. I flipped through them, each image making my blood run colder. Lindsay on a beach, wrapped around a man who wasn't Ramon. A man wearing a wedding ring. There's more, Max said quietly. The hotel was booked under his wife's travel account. He used points from their joint card. I sat down hard in my chair. She wasn't just having an affair. She was using another woman's husband, and his wife's money to do it. What are you going to do? I thought about Mom's words. Practical, not emotional. They'd meant it as an insult, but maybe it was time to show them just how practical I could be. First, I'm going to have lunch with Ramon. Your cousin's husband? Is that wise? I pulled out my phone, started composing a message. He deserves to know what his wife was really doing in Tulum, and I bet he has some interesting stories of his own to share. This could get ugly, Max warned. It already is ugly. I'm just bringing it into the light. I hit send on the message to Ramon. They wanted me to be practical? Fine. Let's see how they like it when I practically dismantle every lie they've built. My phone lit up with Ramon's response. Lunch tomorrow. I have some things you should hear too. I showed Max the message, and he whistled low. You're really doing this. They took my wedding fund to pay for her divorce lawyer. Seems only fair I give that lawyer something worth fighting about. As I gathered my things to leave, Max called after me. What about your mom? She seems caught in the middle. I paused at the door, thinking of her tears, her excuses, her weakness. She made her choice when she helped them take my money. Now it's time for me to make mine. The elevator doors closed on my reflection, and for the first time in days, I smiled. Tomorrow, Ramon would get a preview of the truth. And soon after that, everyone else would too. Ramon looked different than the last time I'd seen him at a family gathering. The polished corporate lawyer was gone, replaced by someone who'd clearly been through hell. He stirred his coffee absently, not meeting my eyes. Thank you for meeting me, I said, sliding into the booth across from him. Honestly, I was surprised you reached out. Thought you'd be firmly in Lindsay's corner. Like I was when she took my wedding fund? His head snapped up. What? I explained about the money, watching his expression shift from surprise to anger to something darker. Of course, he muttered. They're trying to hire Marshall and Associates, best divorce attorneys in the state. Expensive, too. Speaking of expenses, I pulled out my phone, showing him the Tulum photos. Looks like someone had an interesting summer vacation. Ramon's hands clenched around his coffee cup. That would be David, tennis instructor, though I didn't know about the Tulum trip. His wife's points paid for it. Jesus. He ran a hand through his hair. Add it to the list, I guess. Want to know something funny? I actually thought I was going crazy at first. Things would go missing. Conversations I knew we'd had suddenly never happened according to her. I pulled out my notebook. Tell me everything. For the next hour, Ramon painted a picture that made my stomach turn. Lindsay hadn't just cheated. She'd orchestrated an elaborate campaign to discredit Ramon when he started asking questions. The worst part? Ramon leaned forward. She tried to bribe our babysitter to testify that I was inappropriate with her, a 19-year-old kid, scared out of her mind because my wife was pressuring her to lie in court. I felt sick. Did she do it? No. Thank God the girl came to me first, but that's when I knew. This wasn't just about divorce. Lindsay wanted to destroy me. I have something you should see. I pulled up the Christmas video. Ramon watched, his face hardening with each slurred confession from my cousin. Send this to my lawyer, he said when it finished. Actually, no. Wait until we're in court. I want to see their faces when it plays. I have a better idea. I outlined my plan, watching his eyes widen. That's ruthless. A smile tugged at his lips. I like it. After lunch, I headed to my sister Autumn's apartment. She was the only family member I still trusted, mainly because she'd always been as much of an outsider as me. They're freaking out, she said as soon as I walked in. Mom's having anxiety attacks. Aunt Joanna's calling every lawyer in town. And Lindsay, she trailed off. What about Lindsay? She knows someone has dirt on her. She's been calling all her friends, trying to figure out who might talk. I sat on Autumn's couch, accepting the wine she offered. Why didn't you ever tell me about the car accident? Autumn froze. How did you? Mom confessed. About how they paid off another family when Lindsay crashed their daughter's car drunk. I was 16 when that happened. They told me she was away at summer camp. They didn't want you to know. Autumn sat beside me. You were always different, smarter, more likely to question things. That's why they kept you at arm's length. You were too hard to manipulate. Some compliment. It is, actually. She touched my arm. You're the only one strong enough to break their pattern. My phone buzzed. A message from Max. He'd finished compiling the evidence. Photos, videos, financial records, witness statements. Everything needed to shatter the perfect image my family had built. What are you going to do with all of it? Autumn asked, reading over my shoulder. I opened my laptop, pulled up an email draft. Send it to Ramon's lawyer, but first, I attached a single photo, Lindsay and David in Tulum, to an anonymous email. Who's that going to? Ramon, with a note saying more evidence will be waiting on his lawyer's desk tomorrow morning. They'll know it was you. Let them suspect. They can't prove it. I hit send. Besides, I'm done hiding. They want to talk about family loyalty? Let's see how loyal they feel when the truth comes out. Autumn poured more wine. Mom called me earlier, said you're breaking her heart. Funny, she didn't seem too concerned about my heart when she helped steal my wedding fund. What about your wedding? To Everett? I smiled, thinking of my supportive fiancé who'd been nothing but understanding. We'll have our wedding, maybe not the one I saved for, but something better, something honest. My phone lit up with another message. Ramon confirming he'd received the photo. The pieces were falling into place. You should stay away from the house for a few days, I told Autumn. Once this hits, it's going to get ugly. She nodded. I know, but Tabitha, make it count. Make it all worth it. I hugged her goodbye, then headed home to finish preparing the evidence file. Tomorrow, Ramon's lawyer would receive everything. The day after that, it would all come out in court. Let them panic. Let them scramble to contain the damage. They thought they could silence me with guilt and manipulation. Instead, they'd given me the perfect reason to speak up. And I had so much to say. The courthouse hallway buzzed with tension. I sat in the back row of the gallery, watching Lindsay make her grand entrance. She wore a cream-colored suit that probably cost more than my monthly salary, her hair and makeup perfect for her performance as the wronged wife. Aunt Joanna followed close behind, whispering last-minute instructions. Mom sat near them, wringing her hands. None of them had noticed me yet. All rise, the bailiff called as the judge entered. Ramon's lawyer went first, laying out a standard case about irreconcilable differences. Lindsay's attorney responded with practiced outrage about emotional abuse and financial control. I watched Ramon's face remain carefully neutral. Your Honor, Ramon's lawyer said after an hour of back and forth, we've received new evidence that dramatically changes the nature of these proceedings. Lindsay's attorney jumped up. Objection. Any new evidence should have been submitted during discovery. This evidence only came to light yesterday, Ramon's lawyer explained smoothly. We're prepared to authenticate its validity immediately. The judge peered over her glasses. Proceed. A screen lowered from the ceiling. My heart pounded as the Christmas video began to play. I never loved him. Lindsay's voice filled the courtroom. God, it was so easy, though. Just cry a little, claim he scared me, and suddenly everyone's falling over themselves to protect poor little me. Aunt Joanna's face went ash white. Lindsay gripped the table in front of her. The pregnancy test? Video Lindsay continued, giggling. Bought it already positive on eBay. Ramon was so excited. Almost felt bad about the miscarriage 2 months later. The judge's expression hardened. Lindsay's attorney was frantically scribbling notes. And David? Video Lindsay sighed dreamily. Best tennis instructor ever, though we didn't do much actual tennis. The video continued, each confession more damning than the last. When it ended, the silence was deafening. Your Honor, Lindsay's attorney started. Save it, the judge cut him off. Mrs. Jensen, would you care to explain this video? Lindsay stood, trembling. I was drunk, I was making things up. Whoever recorded this. We also have evidence of Mrs. Jensen's trip to Tulum, Ramon's lawyer interrupted, paid for with stolen credit card points from her lover's wife's account, and sworn statements from the babysitter regarding attempted witness tampering. The judge called a recess. As people filed out, I watched Lindsay collapse into Aunt Joanna's arms, sobbing. Mom looked around helplessly until her eyes found mine. I met her gaze steadily, then walked out. Lindsay caught up to me in the parking lot. "It was you!" she screamed, mascara running down her cheeks. "You did this to me!" "Did what? Recorded you telling the truth?" "I'll destroy you," she threatened, stepping closer. "I'll tell everyone." "Tell them what?" I cut her off. "That you're a liar? A cheater? That you tried to frame your husband for abuse? Go ahead. The truth is already out there." "You don't understand what you've done." She grabbed my arm. "This isn't just about the divorce anymore. Ramon will press charges. His lawyer's talking about fraud, witness tampering. Sounds like you should have thought about that before stealing my wedding fund for your defense." Her grip tightened. "We're family." "No." I pulled free. "We're relatives. There's a difference. They'll never forgive you for this." I laughed. "Good. I don't want their forgiveness. I want justice." Aunt Joanna appeared behind Lindsay. "Get in the car, dear. We need to talk to the lawyer." She turned to me, voice ice cold. "I hope you're happy. You've ruined everything we built." "You built it on lies," I replied. "I just knocked down the house of cards." My phone buzzed. A text from Max. "News spreading fast at the country club. Joanna's been asked to resign from the board." I smiled at my aunt. "Better hurry. I hear you have some damage control to do at the club." She paled. "How did you—" "I learned from the best," I said sweetly. "Family takes care of family, right?" I walked to my car, ignoring Lindsay's renewed sobs behind me. Another text came through, this one from Everett. "Proud of you, love. Dinner tonight?" "Yes," I typed back. "And I have a new idea for our wedding. Something small, intimate, just people who actually care about us." Mom called out as I opened my car door. "Tabitha, please. We can fix this." I turned to face her one last time. "No, Mom, you can't fix this. But maybe now you can stop pretending everything was perfect to begin with." Driving away, I caught a glimpse of them in my rearview mirror. Lindsay crying, Aunt Joanna on her phone, Mom standing alone. Their carefully constructed world was crumbling. And I didn't feel an ounce of regret. Mom showed up at my apartment 3 days after the court hearing. She looked smaller somehow, her designer outfit wrinkled, her eyes red from crying. "Can I come in?" she asked quietly. I stepped aside, letting her enter. She sat on my couch, clutching her purse like a shield. "There's something you need to know," she began. "About Lindsay, about everything." "I already know about the car accident when she was 17. Mom shook her head. "That's just the beginning. Sit down, please." I perched on the edge of my armchair, waiting. "The accident. The girl she hit? She was in a coma for 2 weeks. We paid the family $500,000 to keep it quiet. Your college fund paid for part of it." The room spun. "My what?" "Your father and I had been saving since you were born. But Lindsay, the family couldn't survive a scandal. We told you the market crashed, remember?" I remembered working 3 jobs through college, taking out loans, while Lindsay attended an expensive private university. "What else?" My voice sounded strange to my own ears. 2 years ago, she had an affair with her boss's husband. When his wife found out, she threatened to go public. We paid her off too. And last year, there was a problem with prescription drugs. "Stop." I stood up, pacing. "Just stop. All these years, you've been cleaning up her messes, using family money, my money, to hide her crimes. We had to protect her." "Protect her?" I whirled around. "What about protecting me? What about protecting that girl she put in a coma? Or the wives she helped men cheat on? You don't understand. You've always been so independent, strong. Lindsay needs us." "No," I said firmly. "Lindsay needs consequences, and so do you." I walked to my desk, pulled out a folder. I've been doing some digging. The girl from the accident? She has permanent nerve damage, still goes to physical therapy. The boss's wife? Lost her business in the divorce. Real people, Mom. Real lives Lindsay destroyed while you helped her hide. Mom started crying. What are you going to do? Nothing. I sat back down. I already did it. I sent everything to a journalist who specializes in exposing high society scandals. She's running the story tomorrow. You can't. I already did. It's called The Wilkins Web of Lies. Catchy, right? This will destroy us. Maybe it should. I leaned forward. Maybe it's time everyone saw the truth behind our perfect family facade. My phone buzzed. Autumn calling. Have you seen the preview? She asked when I answered. It's already trending online. I put her on speaker, pulled up the article preview. Photos of Lindsay through the years, each paired with a scandal. The car accident, the affairs, the drugs, the fraud. Mom covered her face with her hands. Please, stop this. Like you stopped Lindsay? Or like you stopped my wedding fund from being stolen? A knock at the door interrupted us. Autumn was there, tablet in hand. You need to see the comments. People are coming forward with more stories. We scrolled through them together, while Mom watched in horror. Former classmates sharing stories of Lindsay's bullying. Business associates revealing fraudulent deals. A former nanny describing covered-up incidents. It's not just Lindsay anymore, Autumn said softly. People are asking questions about the whole family, about where the money came from, about who helped hide everything. Mom stood up shakily. I need to call your aunt. We need to get ahead of this. There is no getting ahead of it, I replied. The truth is out there now. All of it. You're my daughter, she whispered. How could you do this to your own family? I learned from you, Mom. Family comes first, remember? I'm just protecting the family members who actually deserve it. After she left, Autumn hugged me. Are you okay? No. I showed her my phone, messages flooding in from relatives, former friends, even strangers. Some supportive, some threatening. But I will be. Joanna's already trying to spin it, Autumn reported, saying it's all lies, threatening lawsuits. Let her try. Every word is documented, every story verified. My phone buzzed again. Everett this time. Just read the preview. Coming over with wine and takeout. You shouldn't be alone tonight. I smiled, feeling tears finally start to fall. I'm not alone. I have the family I chose, not the one I was born into. Autumn squeezed my hand. The full article drops tomorrow morning. Want me to stay? Yes. I wiped my eyes. Someone should be here to watch the house of cards finally fall. We settled in to wait, watching the preview's share count climb. By morning, everyone would know the truth about the perfect Wilkins family, about Lindsay's crimes and Mom's cover-ups, about years of lies and manipulation. Let them come after me. Let them threaten and cry and try to spin their way out. I had the truth on my side. And the truth was just getting started. The Sunday brunch invitation arrived by courier, handwritten on Aunt Joanna's expensive stationery. My first instinct was to throw it away, but Autumn convinced me to go. They're planning something, she warned. Better to face it head on. Walking into the country club's private dining room felt like entering a lion's den. Mom, Aunt Joanna, and Lindsay sat at their usual table, 3 generations of carefully maintained appearances now cracking under pressure. Sit, Aunt Joanna commanded. We need to discuss damage control. I remained standing. There is no damage control. The truth is out. Truth? Lindsay's laugh was brittle. You call that hit-piece journalism? Do you know what you've done to us? To you? I pulled out my phone. Let's see. Your tennis club membership revoked. 3 charity boards asking for your resignation. Ramon's lawyer filing additional charges for fraud. Did I miss anything? We need you to make a public statement, Aunt Joanna cut in. Deny involvement. Say the stories were exaggerated. No. Mom reached for my hand. Sweetie, please, The family name. Stop. I yanked my hand away. Just stop. Our family name? It's poison, built on lies and cover-ups and stolen money. You ungrateful. Lindsay started to rise, but Aunt Joanna pulled her back down. What do you want? Aunt Joanna asked coldly. Money? Position? Name your price. I laughed. You still don't get it. I don't want anything from you. I want you to face consequences. Real ones for once. Like you're so perfect, Lindsay sneered. At least I didn't betray my own family. No, you just put a girl in a coma. Destroyed marriages. Stole my future. Tell me, Lindsay, how many lives have you ruined while hiding behind Mommy's checkbook? That's enough. Aunt Joanna stood up. You think you're better than us? You're just like Ramon. Vindictive, cruel. Cruel? My voice rose. You want to talk about cruel? How about grooming me my entire life to be the family ATM? The responsible one you could always count on to clean up after Lindsay. We gave you everything. Aunt Joanna's face flushed red. You took everything. My college fund, my wedding savings, my trust in family. All of it sacrificed on the altar of Lindsay's mistakes. Tabitha, Mom pleaded. We're all you have. No. I straightened my spine. You're all I had. Now I have people who love me without conditions, who support me without stealing from me, who tell the truth without being forced. Autumn appeared in the doorway, right on cue. Everything okay in here? Perfect timing, I said, gathering my purse. We're done. This isn't over, Aunt Joanna called after me. You have no idea what's coming. I turned back one last time. Actually, I do. Your lawyer called mine this morning, trying to blame me for hacking financial records. Good luck proving that when Mom's signature is on every transfer. Mom gasped. How did you? I told you, I have everything documented. Every lie, every cover-up, every illegal transaction, so go ahead. Try to destroy me. See what else comes to light. Lindsay started crying, her practiced tears failing to move me. I'm your cousin. Your blood. Blood doesn't excuse what you did. To me, to Ramon, to everyone you hurt. And it definitely doesn't excuse what they did to protect you. Walking out, I heard Aunt Joanna collapse into her chair, heard Mom's quiet sobs, heard Lindsay's tears turn to rage. But I didn't look back. Autumn squeezed my arm as we left. You okay? Better than okay. My phone buzzed, a text from Ramon's lawyer. Looks like they're adding tax fraud to the charges. Seems Aunt Joanna got creative with some charity donations. They'll never forgive you for this. Good. I smiled, feeling lighter than I had in weeks. Their forgiveness was always just another form of control anyway. We walked to my car, passing the club's pristine gardens where so many perfect family photos had been taken, where I'd learned to smile just right, speak just so, be exactly what they needed. Everett's waiting at the venue, Autumn reminded me. We're still doing the wedding planning meeting? Absolutely. I started the car. Time to plan a celebration with people who actually celebrate us. My phone lit up again, this time with a message from Max. You need to see this. The story's been picked up by national news. I handed the phone to Autumn. Read it to me while I drive? As she read about the growing scandal, about more victims coming forward, about the perfect family facade crumbling, I felt no satisfaction, no joy in their destruction, just relief. Relief that the truth was finally free. Relief that I was finally free. And if they wanted to keep threatening me, well, I still had plenty of evidence left to share. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting out. Ramon's office felt different now. Less intimidating. More like a sanctuary of truth. He spread documents across his desk while his lawyer pointed out key details. They forged your signature, Ramon said, tapping a paper. Not just on the prenup revision, but on multiple financial documents. Your aunt and mother were both involved. I picked up the document, studying the fake signature. When? Right after they took your wedding fund, they were trying to cover their tracks, make it look like you authorized the transfers. His lawyer leaned forward. They're desperate. The fraud charges against Lindsay are solid, and now they're trying to drag you down with them. But we have proof it wasn't me? Better. Ramon smiled grimly. We have proof it was them. The forensic accountant found everything: backdated documents, altered bank records, even attempts to hack your work email. My phone buzzed. Everett texting about wedding venues. Normal life going on while my family imploded. What do you need from me? I asked. Nothing. Ramon's lawyer pushed a folder toward me. Just keep this safe. It's your insurance policy, proof of your innocence and their guilt. Don't let them know you have it. I left Ramon's office feeling lighter, the folder tucked safely in my bag. Outside, Max was waiting. They're getting desperate, he said, falling into step beside me. Your aunt tried to access the company servers this morning, looking for dirt on you. Find anything? Just proof you're boring, he grinned. Perfect attendance, stellar performance reviews, and a concerning addiction to spreadsheets. My phone rang. Autumn. You need to get home now. Mom's here. I found Mom sitting on my doorstep, looking destroyed. Her designer outfit was wrinkled, her makeup smeared. They're arresting Lindsay tomorrow, she said as I approached. Fraud charges. Ramon's pressing forward. Good. Good? She stood up shakily. She's your cousin. And I was your daughter. Didn't stop you from stealing my future. We were protecting the family. No. I unlocked my door, letting her follow me inside. You were protecting Lindsay. Like always. The rest of us were just collateral damage. I made mistakes, she admitted. But please, help us fix this. Tell Ramon to drop the charges. I pulled out the folder Ramon had given me. Like you tried to fix things by forging my signature? Framing me for financial fraud? She went pale. How did you... I have proof. Of everything. Every document you and Aunt Joanna forged. Every attempt to hack my accounts. Every lie you told trying to save Lindsay from consequences. We're still your family. No. I opened my laptop, showed her the new wedding venue Everett and I had chosen. This is my family now. People who love me without conditions, who support me without stealing from me. A small wedding? She looked horrified. What will people say? They'll say I learned from your mistakes, that I chose truth over appearance. My phone buzzed again. Ramon's lawyer warning that arrest warrants were being prepared. Not just for Lindsay now, but for Aunt Joanna, too. Mom, I said softly, go home, get a lawyer, a good one, because this isn't going away. How can you be so cold? Cold? I laughed. I learned from the best. You taught me that family means sacrificing everything for Lindsay. Well, I'm done sacrificing. After she left, I called Everett. The venue's perfect, I said. Small, intimate, honest. Like us? He replied. By the way, the invitations arrived. Want me to bring them over? I looked at my guest list. Friends, colleagues, Autumn. People who'd stood by me through everything. Not a single toxic relative in sight. Yes, I said. It's time to start sending them out. My phone lit up with breaking news. Socialite faces fraud charges. Family empire crumbles. Below it, a photo of Lindsay being escorted from her house. Aunt Joanna screaming at reporters in the background. Max texted, Your aunt just got served with her warrant. You okay? Better than okay, I replied. I'm free. I sat down to address wedding invitations, each envelope a statement of choice, of choosing love over obligation, truth over appearance, real family over blood ties. Let them come after me. Let them threaten and scheme and try to shift blame. I had truth on my side, and a new family waiting to celebrate with me. The final invitation I addressed was to Ramon, not as my cousin's ex-husband, but as someone who'd helped expose the truth, who'd chosen justice over easy silence. My phone buzzed one last time, Autumn sending a photo of Mom and Aunt Joanna being questioned by police. "Still sure about this?" she asked. I looked at my wedding invitations, thought of the family I'd chosen, the truth I'd exposed, the future I was reclaiming. "Never been more sure," I replied. "Sometimes you have to burn bridges to stop toxic people from crossing them, and I had matches to spare." The morning sun filtered through stained glass windows as I stood in the small chapel's antechamber, smoothing my simple white dress. No designer label, no elaborate train. Just elegant, honest simplicity. "Ready?" Autumn appeared in the doorway, holding my bouquet. Almost. I pulled out my phone, opened the video that had started it all, Lindsay's drunken confession. With Autumn watching, I pressed delete. Then I deleted the backup copy. "You sure about that?" "The truth's already out there." I smiled. "I don't need to carry their lies anymore." My phone buzzed one last time. A news alert about Lindsay's guilty plea. She'd taken a deal, turning evidence against Aunt Joanna in exchange for reduced charges. Mom had gotten probation for her smaller role. I turned off my phone. Today wasn't about them. "The guests are ready." Max poked his head in. "And Everett's about to wear a hole in the floor pacing." The small chapel held only 60 people, each one chosen carefully, each one true. Ramon sat near the back, giving me a subtle nod. He'd helped expose the truth, earned his place here. Music started playing. Not the traditional wedding march, but a soft acoustic song about new beginnings. I walked down the aisle alone, no one giving me away. I'd given myself permission to be free long ago. Everett's eyes lit up when he saw me. No practice runs, no rehearsed perfection, just real emotion breaking through. "You look beautiful," he whispered as I reached him. "You look nervous," I whispered back, making him laugh. The ceremony was short, honest, focused on love and truth rather than appearance. When the minister asked if anyone objected, the silence felt like victory. During the reception, Autumn clinked her glass for a toast. "To my sister, who taught me that real family isn't about blood, it's about choice. And to Everett, who chose to stand beside her through everything." I looked around the room. At Max, who'd helped uncover evidence. At Ramon, who'd chosen justice over easy silence. At coworkers who'd become friends. At Everett's family who'd welcomed me without conditions. "Your turn." Everett nudged me gently. I stood, glass in hand. "Someone once told me that family comes first. They were right, but they were wrong about what family means. Family isn't about keeping secrets or covering lies. It's about truth, support, and unconditional love." Raising my glass, I continued. "To everyone here, thank you for being my chosen family, for showing me that love doesn't require sacrifice, and loyalty doesn't mean silence." The party continued, dancing, laughter, joy untainted by manipulation or guilt. No one mentioned the empty seats where blood relatives should have been. Those spaces were filled with something better. Chosen love. Near the end of the night, Autumn handed me an envelope. "This came to my house yesterday. I wasn't sure whether to give it to you." Inside was a card from Mom. "I'm sorry, not for protecting family but for forgetting you were family too. Congratulations. Love, Mom." No manipulation, no guilt trip, no demands, just simple truth. "You okay?" Everett asked, seeing me read it. "Perfect." I tucked the card away. "Ready to dance?" As we swayed together, I thought about the video I'd deleted, about letting go not for forgiveness, but for freedom, about choosing joy over bitterness. "What are you thinking?" Everett asked. "That Karma doesn't always wear black. Sometimes she wears white and dances at her own wedding." He laughed, spinning me. "Speaking of karma, did you see the news about your aunt?" "No more news," I said firmly. "No more revenge. No more looking back." The night wound down, guests drifting away with genuine hugs and real wishes for happiness. No social obligations, no forced pleasantries, just authentic connections. As we left the chapel, rice raining down, I caught sight of my reflection in a window. Gone was the careful mask I'd worn in family photos, replaced by genuine joy. Real smile, real love, real life. Ready for our next adventure? Everett asked as we reached the car. I looked back at the chapel one last time, at the chosen family waving goodbye, at the life we'd built from truth rather than tradition. More than ready. The car pulled away, but I wasn't leaving anything behind. I'd already carried everything worth keeping: love, truth, and the power of choosing my own path. Some say revenge is best served cold. But justice? Justice is best served with joy, surrounded by people who choose you every day. And that's the sweetest victory of all.